I'm Catherine Arias. My husband Martine and I are homeowners of Habitat homeowners for a little over 13 years. And our oldest is Sebastian. Genevieve is not here today. She's our second oldest, and our youngest, Rebecca. When I was pregnant with Sebastian, I saw a news story about Habitat for Humanity, and I knew at that time that it would be very nice to raise my children in an actual home versus an apartment. We were living in an apartment at the time. When I was pregnant with Rebecca, our youngest, I was very, very sick, and I wasn't able to work, and Martine had to be off work a lot to help me raise Sebastian and Genevieve. We had a really tough time, I guess, financially and everything else because of my illness, and we were both off work.
So all three of us have asthma right now, kind of varying degrees, but we had black mold in our basement. So I remember, like, it's kind of nostalgic, honestly, which is really bad, but whenever I smell mold, I remember that, like, from my childhood, which is kind of sad, but that was the fact of the matter. You know, I would go downstairs and I could smell the black mold and stuff, and I think that probably affected us a little bit now. But
we also had some very interesting neighbors. Like, there were these, I don't know, like, the neighbors we had behind the house, I don't know how I remember this. I was less than, like, maybe 3, but I remember they'd always, like, peek over the side of the fence, and it was kind of, like, uncomfortable.
You don't take unless you need. And so from a young age, I always knew to give more than you receive. And so when we were in the position to be doing the receiving, I felt that any program, and the Fox Cities has so many amazing programs. Habitat was the first program that ever wanted even a partial trade. Early on in the process, we were trying to be really creative with the sweat equity that we did. Like I said, I really wanted the kids to be able to be a part of the process. I think that's important. And so one of the things that we did was help take care of lots that were owned by Habitat. So we would go, like, pick up sticks or rake or mow lawns. And that also gave us an idea of, you know, what properties they had, and so that we could kind of, when it was our turn to suggest what area we wanted to live in, we knew we wanted to stay in Neenah, but we weren't sure what area. So we were very familiar with the properties. So the property where our house is currently built was manicured by us for quite some time before it was our property, and we knew this is where we really wanted to be. When you talk about actually constructing a house, the amount of things that you learn putting in that sweat equity is amazing. I enjoy drywall still to this day. It's something I like to do. You know, there's just things that, you know, my dad was putting something up in the house, helping us with something. He's like, gosh, I wish I knew what way the trusses went. And I said, really, go like that, you know, and I know, right? Like, because we built this house, we know what it looks like behind the walls.
I remember my dad coming down and taking us to the basement. He was like, oh, I did this, I put this up, and it's like, wow, my dad did this. You know, he's part of a very strong pillar of our family, and this is like the physical pillar of our house that we can see. So you talk about, like, a house and a home representing, like, your family, and I think it really kind of encompassed that. I thought it was really cool to see. So.
I think there's this part in our basement where after we finished building, all of us got to put, like, our hand in paint and put it on the wall and then write our name. So all of the volunteers and us too, we all got to, like, physically, like, finish the product, like, kind of just leaving a little part of us in this house. And I think it definitely makes it a little more home.
think that was amazing. I mean, the smell of the house. They lay down on the floor and say, "This is mine.
Yeah.
This is our future, for us kids, So that was a good feeling. That was a great feeling.
Even the neighbors, like we had an older neighbor, she doesn't live there anymore, she passed away, but her name was Lorraine. Like we would feed the birds, she had a bird feeder, I would read to her, we would catch fireflies all over in her yard. She had a swing set that we eventually got like kind of passed on to us when she passed. So there a lot, like a very different environment, from mean neighbors who peeked over the fence to like a nice old lady who just, kind of let us do what we wanted.
A little extra grandma for us,
Yeah, she was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a satisfaction to see where you at, your kids. They're growing with the future. It's kind of scary though, because you realize you're getting old too, So yeah, we're almost done, paying off everything. But it's a good feeling because we see our kids with a nice future.
So as far as it goes for me, I hope to get an education and get a job that I have a passion for and enjoy. And it's very nice to see that my parents not only have given me the opportunity and the ability to, number one, be smart with my money so I can afford my own education, but also to see that how fortunate I am to have these opportunities, that I'm not stuck in this perpetual cycle of poverty that happens more than not in the United States. So.
Having affordable housing and housing that fits your family is huge, right? Like our house isn't big, but it fits our family and it fits our family's budget. It was built for us not just in that structurally, but that financial piece of it also fits our family. It was intended to do that, and that has worked out for our benefit. I don't know, I just think hard work pays off, and I think it's not just about building a house, it is about building a foundation for your family and growing from there. And you talked about roots. I mean, yeah, you do put down roots, and they're literal roots, but there's also figurative roots that you plant and that you watch grow.
They've taught us that things are going to happen in your life. It's how you react and how you change. If you're happy with this grade of a D- in a class, it's your life. You're making that decision. So they've really instilled that responsibility of our lives in us very early on. Yeah. So we've learned, you have consequences to your actions. If you do something you're not proud of, it's going to stay there. It's going to linger. It's going to hold you deep down in your soul. You're going to feel accountable for that. So,
yeah.
I think
I stole your juice box yesterday.
She's gonna feel that.
You're gonna have to live with that.
So yeah, again, it's really just the reaction to things that have happened in your own personal life and how you move on for that. Like we've said, I feel like countless times in this, you have those lows and you have those highs. Things are gonna happen, but it's how you react, how you move on, and how you conduct yourself in the future from that past experience. So.
You steal juice box, it's on your conscience.
Exactly.
That is.
I'll remember that one.
That's a big thing. I can't believe you did that. That's so rude.
It was great. It's the best juice box I ever had.
Just telling yourself that.
It is an everyday thing that I think about how blessed we are by the program. Every time I drive home and come into the driveway, even after 13 years, is still
Home.
home. And how fortunate we are to have home.